I am Preeti Joshi, and today I am so happy to share that we have among us Mr. Preet Shah, a young entrepreneur. He pursued master in business administration in family business and entrepreneurship from Nirma University, Ahmedabad. He is currently owning Revolve Green, a startup based at Vadodara, which is founded in 2019. And he is also founded Rotary Club of Vadodara Greens in the year 2020. He is a writer also. He is writing a blog, and I'm welcome Mr. Prisha, and he can start his talk now. So welcome, Preet. All
Thank
yours
you,
now.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
If you want
Glad
to
to have
add
you.
something, yeah, thank you so much. And being young entrepreneur, I wish that you can tell us something about your ideas, your visions as a young entrepreneur.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. First of all, I would like to thank Preeti Madam to give me such an opportunity to get affiliated with such an institution. I'm glad to have you all and to talk and share the words of wisdom with you all. Thank you, Madam, to give me such an opportunity. So,
Pleasure is all of us. Thank you.
Before I begin my presentation, I would just like to state that this presentation is going to be a learning phenomena. Uh, I'm not going to teach you anything. I am a student itself. I'm a learner. I would like to have and share the words of wisdom with you all through a two-way communication. I would just share the screen now of the presentation. Is it audible? Is the screen on? You can all see. Hello, can you all see the screen?
Uh, no, no, it is not visible right now. One second. I can. Yeah,
Now?
yeah. Now it's visible.
Okay, it's visible, right? So today's topic is sustainability, a new constant. Okay, what do you all get from this topic? Sustainability being a new constant. Uh, we have lived with a notion that change is the only constant that brings up every type of improvement in our life. So now it is the time that sustainability lead our life in this phase of life. Let sustainability be the game changer. Let sustainability be the only change through which you can drive your lifestyle in the way you want. That is what today's topic talks about. So can I have views on what sustainability mean to you? If anyone from the meet can have your views on what sustainability means to you. Anybody, even a word or two.
We have only 4 persons, so I can tell you what is sustainability
Yeah,
because
sure.
students are joining by FB. I
Yeah,
think
no
it's
issues, no
a
issues.
it's a
Even if
mutual
one opinion.
mutual development and without harming others. If I'm correct.
Okay. Yes. So sustainability has many perceptions. So even a perception from your end can mean a lot, and even a perception from somebody else's end can mean a lot in their lifestyle. So basically, what sustainability means, according to me, is that sustainability is not just talking about environment. It is much more than environment. We all want to have better tomorrows, don't we? But are we willing to improve our lifestyle? Are we willing to increase our purchases? Basically, to have a better tomorrow, you got to change something in the now. You got to either increase your standard of living, improve your standard of living through purchases, or you got to do something which ultimately leads to the way of life that you prefer. So let's take an example. If you want to have a better tomorrow, are you willing to increase your costs? Are you willing to increase your purchases? No, right? Because we all want to cut down on our cost, and that is where we also are cutting down on the possibility to improve our lifestyles. Sustainability is not just having a zero waste lifestyle or adopting to eco friendly products. It is not only that, it is much more than that. Even a thought of waking up early in the morning at 5 a.m. makes your way to sustainability. So, sustainability is all about journey. If we talk it holistically, uh, let's say for example, if I am born in Vadodara, the way the city was, the way the society was, I would like to leave the city and the society in the same manner when I die for my future generations. So that is what sustainability is. Give the future generation what you already got. If you cannot improve it, you cannot even deteriorate. You got to you got to pass the society in the same way that you had got from your parents. That is what sustainability means. So, yes, uh, there are many terms affiliated with sustainability. It's anthropomorphic mindset, it's based on consumer behavior and lifestyle, it's based on climate crisis, it is intersectional, and it depends a lot on your behavior and your choices. So, what does this term anthropomorphic mindset mean to you? Basically, it's a new term. It's something we all have been affiliated with, but we don't know about it in detail. So basically, anthropomorphic mindset means that every situation around us, everything around us is human centric. We try to drag everything to human needs and human greeds. We have ignored our ecology. We have ignored the concern for the nature around us. We have become so much human oriented that whatever we create is based on humans. Even if you see cartoon channels, even if you go and watch Disney Channel over there, even the cartoon characters are human centric. They are created with what the human desires. No one has ever created anything based on nature or environment. So that is where uh, we think only and only about humans. That is where we have ignored our ecology. And this mindset is draining sustainability and nature around us. Consumer behavior and lifestyle, on the basis of the choices that we make, it affects our environment, it affects the way we live. For example, uh, recently we all have experienced unseasonal rainfalls, right? So that was due to pollution. That was due to pollution because we have not been conscious in choosing the products that we like, that we want to uh, make way for sustainability, and that has led to unseasonal rainfall. Now because of unseasonal rainfall, whatever the crops harvested in this season have died, have have been disturbed, and because of which there has been increase in the food prices as well. So our behavior patterns, our product choices are determined by our behaviors. Somebody, now for example, let's take an example. Somebody who has a swimming pool in their house will need more electricity, will need more maintenance, will need more water and chlorine to maintain. This will eventually lead to more carbon footprints, more carbon emissions, more wastage of water. Now what that household, what that home can do is that if that home is living in a suburban area where they have a society who can afford to have a common swimming pool, they can reduce a lot of carbon gases. They can curb a lot of maintenance activities. So that is where a sustainability comes in. That is where consumer behavior pattern dwells in. That is where you make a choice. Because of our unawareness of making a right choice, we have created a world where Diseases are spreading like due to high temperatures. Uh, Food prices are increasing due to unseasonal activities happening in the nature. There has been shrinkage in the harvest produced by the farmers. Everyone has is experiencing a disturbed lifestyle just because of what we choose in our daily lifestyle. Let's take another example of Vishwamitri. Now, before 300 to 400 years ago, Vishwamitri River, was so natural, filled with so much of nature's glory that people used to do yoga and pranayam over there. It was it was filled with so much of fresh air. Now, see, due to urbanization, due to development, pollution has led to destruction of our natural habitat. Vishwamitri is now in a position where we can't even enjoy passing through that area. So that is what consumer behavior and consumer lifestyles has brought us to. This is the impact. I hope you all can see the slides, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
Preet.
yeah,
Very much visible.
okay. So this is the impact uh, which has been created due to the lack of unawareness of having a right consumer approach. Even if a change in degree, even if the temperature goes down by 4 to 5 degree over a period of time, right now we are experiencing 20 to 30 degrees Celsius on daily activities. After maybe if the rapid destruction of nature goes on, we will experience a rise in temperature by 5 to 8 degrees after a period of say 10 to 12 years. And with that, you can see that the threat to not even us, to not even the nature, but also to the future generations would be devastating. Their lifespan would drastically decrease down to 40 to 50 years. That is where we are approaching to. Yes. So I would just like to share one video, ma'am. We can, yeah. I would be sharing a video which will talk about the catastrophe we all are into. Please have a look on this video carefully for at least 2 minutes. So this is the catastrophe that we have created. This video says that welcome to Kaliyug. We all have used the nature's activity so much for the development and for our own greeds that we have become completely unaware of what we'll end up with. That is the position of our humanity. We got to make the right choice, and where we are leading to. It's only and only up to us. So let's go ahead. Now let's try to figure out each and everything possible to drag it to sustainability. For example, uh, have a look around you. How are things made up of? Let us take an example of a battery cell. A battery cell is used for remotes, for AC remotes, TVs, or for toys, right? Now, a battery cell is made up of lithium ion. Okay. Now let's go towards the backstage of this manufacturing process. Now humanity uh, started its way through forest cutting. We went to forest, we cut down trees. When we cut down trees, we made roads, right? When we made roads, we made vehicles to carry goods, to carry people, to carry those goods and those peoples to the hills where the mining of iron takes place. Now just imagine the quantum of carbon dioxide created. Now imagine the quantum of carbon footprints created. Could you feel it? Could you feel the amount of greenhouse gas emissions created just to create a lithium ion battery? So the entire process goes well with this quote. It says that it's pretty amazing that our society has reached a point where the effort necessary to extract oil from the ground, it means from the limited resources that we have, we extract it and ship it to a refinery, turn it into a plastic, shape it appropriately, shape it in the form of plastic bottles or say spoons. We truck it to a store, we as a consumer buy it and bring it back home. The entire process, the entire effort is considered to be less effort than what it takes to just wash the spoon when you are done with it. This is our consumer behavior and lifestyle. This is our approach to what we want. Just ask yourself once again, Are we doing the right thing, or are we so much into our unconscious state of mind that we want only things to happen the way it was used to happen? Just think it again. I just want all of you to at least figure out such two such things which leads to a backyard of such stories like lithium ion. So lithium, so this battery can be a product. We can have more products wherein so much of wastage is there. We can take laptops, we can take cars. There are many examples. Every product, everything where humanity is there, it has already led to wastage. I would give this ideal example for an ideal world where we live in. What we do is we produce plastic, we use it, we reuse it, and once the life of that product breaks, we repair it, right? Even after when we repair it, if it does break down, if it ends, we recycle it, right? We send it to the recyclers. That's what happens in the ideal world. But our world is not so ideal. We don't live in an ideal world. This is not actually what happens. So basically, every year, 78 million tons of plastic is produced just for packaging. Out of 78 million tons of plastic, only and only 10% goes to the recycling closed loop channel. 90% drains down. And this is where we get, this is the catastrophe where we see that 90%. So out of those 10%, only 6% goes to the recycling channel. 4% has already been lost in the recycling process. So now just imagine, uh, if your kid or if you yourself get 6% marks in an examination, how would you feel? Right? That is what our position in the human place is, in this world is. We are only recycling and reusing 6% of the entire catastrophe that we ourselves has created. This is an era where we need to reshape, rephrase the sustainability responsibility. How we can solve this problem, right? The place that we are living is of the fast fashion. Overproduction of textile mills, overproduction of any product has set a bad consumer trend. The manufacturer overproduces. They want people to buy more and more and more. Unwanted goods are purchased. Unwanted purchases are made when we do not even need that product. This is what has set a trend for that minimum order quantity concept in the business industry, because there has been overproduction, because of which such consumer trends have been set. We buy products we don't even need, and then we throw away. That's where the waste has been created. That's where the rates of throwing away has gone tremendously. I would mention the textile dyeing, textile industry is the world's second largest producer. First largest is obviously plastic industry. That is where we got to make a choice. That is where we got to evaluate ourselves whether we are doing or whether we are purchasing. Is it the right thing we are doing? Are we solving any particular problem in this society? To make a t-shirt, to make a cotton t-shirt, 2,700 gallons of water is wasted. You can imagine the quantum of water being wasted. 2,700 waters. So now how do we solve this problem? How do we solve this entire problem of waste generation? Yes, what I feel, what my perception for sustainability talks about is that we can adopt to products that creates less waste, that creates less waste generation. We need to buy products which are of second hand, which are recycled. We need to approach to thrift stores where those products are made, because that is where they have already cut down the waste generation channel. That is where they have already cut down waste production. For example, if you are buying a cotton t-shirt, it wastes around 2,700 gallons of water. Now, if you buy a recycled polyester t-shirt, if you buy a recycled polyester t-shirt, it saves around 10 to 12 plastic bottles. It saves around 10 to 12 PET bottles. Here, the need from extracting oil from the ground has been cut down. You need not go to the oil mines to extract oil, produce polyester, and make t-shirts. These t-shirts are already made out of waste use PET bottles. So there you are making a choice. There you are bringing in awareness that I have saved 8 to 10 or 12 plastic bottles. You can adopt to purchase, you can adopt to use a metal straw instead of a plastic straw. You go to some store, you go to a nearby fast food chain, you can stop taking a sip from a plastic straw. You can say no. The moment you say no, you make a large choice for yourself. You make a decision for yourself. I would like to share a video which talks about how recycled products can make a way for your lifestyle and very much get your decisions onto the recycled and eco-friendly products. I would like to share that video. It talks about a company with the name of Revolve Green, which I own. So basically, what we do is we make and promote recycled and reusable products made out of bamboo, hemp, and waste use plastic bottles. So just play that video. Ma'am, it's audible, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
In plastic waste, we saw a green revolution. Welcome to Revolve Green, an eco-friendly clothing initiative. Plastic bottles end up at landfill sites. Some even find their way in water bodies, impacting marine life. For every plastic bottle rescued from the waste, we are contributing a little bit in protecting the environment. From bottles to fibers to stunning fabrics, we recycle 90% of the water and decrease the carbon footprint by 30% during the manufacturing process. Our fabrics provide protection from UV rays, are antimicrobial and skin friendly, just like any other off-the-shelf garment. So, when you wear our garment, you are rejuvenating a part of our planet and infusing life. Be vocal for local. Go green. Go Revolve Green.
So you must all have heard the name of Sadhguru, right? He uh, he says that those who do not do anything, those who do not go to factories, do not have a creative mindset, those who are an artist by profession, have done a lot way better than those who go to the goods factories and produce emissions. So even if you are not doing anything, you are contributing value to this mother nature. So that is what message we should all carry around us. Never be ashamed of not doing anything, because if you are not even doing anything, you are in some way or other contributing somewhere of some value. Reducing your carbon footprints in the way you perform with the world talks much about your responsibility towards sustainability. Let's take another example of cotton and hemp, which is another product category in eco-friendly products. So hemp is basically a plant which is grown in Himachal, in hilly areas. It is a plant-based textile. It is the oldest form of plant from which textile was created. Now, in today's era, in every textile, there is some portion of cotton. There is some blend of cotton in it. Without cotton, no textile is prepared, right? But hemp has brought a revolution in this textile industry. What hemp does is that if you produce one cotton t-shirt and a pair of jeans, you are using around 5,800 gallons of water. In case of hemp, you require much lesser water than cotton. You require much lesser land to cultivate hemp than cotton. In fact, hemp enriches the soil. It gives back the nutrients to the soil where it grows, and it doesn't require any pesticide to grow. Where in case of cotton, it requires enormous number of pesticides. Even in the case of organic cotton, no cotton grows without pesticides. According to some study and forum, it was found that cotton crop occupies 1% of the entire farmland of our country, out of which 50%, that out of that 1% farmland, say about 10 acres, 5 acres of pesticides is used. 50% of all the pesticides goes on that cotton production. Now that is where carbon footprint is created. That is where chemical index is created. Hemp, on the other hand, is much stronger and much durable product than cotton fiber. It requires half the land to produce 1 ton of cotton when compared to hemp. When compared to cotton, it requires half the land to produce 1 ton of hemp fiber. So that is where we all can make a choice. That is where we all can make a difference. We all have got n number of alternatives to use and substitute our current product choices. But the thing is, we are just unaware of it. We need to produce those products. We need to produce those choices instead of producing waste. Another example is of a bamboo brush. So even if you all can take a small step in your daily activity, in your daily routine lifestyle, even uh, if you wake up tomorrow morning and you stop using your old plastic toothbrush, you replace it with charcoal powder or a bamboo brush. I'm not emphasizing on using a bamboo brush. You can also uh, take a route of using a powder or charcoal powder. Even that will cut down your need of producing plastic. And these products, I guarantee, these alternative products have come down with immense potential, immense characteristics, which plastic cannot even dream to have down the line after even 100 years. If you are using a bamboo toothbrush or a bamboo bottle, replacing it with your old plastic bottles or plastic toothbrush, it has got characteristics like antibacterial, antifungal. It doesn't mold your bamboo bottle. There is no space to create any fungus. It is leak proof. It has got all the characteristics which makes you carry a good product in your daily life. Even after the usage is over, you can dump it back to the recycler or to the ground. It will decompose in 3 to 4 months. That will add nutrients in the soil itself. A bamboo product, when it goes back to the mother nature, it regenerates, it grows into a plant, and which can also be reused in the form of bottles and toothbrushes. So in any way, you are adding a product back to the mother nature. You are growing a plant. If you're buying a product made out of plant, and when it decomposes goes to the soil, you are even planting a bamboo. You are planting a tree in your surroundings. So we all have restricted ourselves to the uses of the products. We only use the product until its lifestyle. We all have never thought about its afterlife. We all have become the kings of trash. We only think if the product is useful for humanity, for us. What about the afterlife of the product? What about when it goes down to that landfill? What about then? We have never thought. Even when we are selling a product, we are so much conscious and aware about the after sales activity. We want consumer to use the product again, but have we ever educated them what goes behind when the product is dumped into the when the product goes to the landfill? Have we ever imagined? We got to even educate people about it. Today, I want to pass on this message that even small actions that we take can help protect the environment from being damaged. We all should take care of our planet as it is our own home. I want a promise. I think so only 4 or 5 people are over here. So I want a promise from each and every one of you. What promise will you take to make a change in your lifestyle? I would be writing it down right now and clicking a photo of it so that at least I can take a note of it after a month or so. Hello.
Yeah, Preet.
Yes, ma'am. So even if you can give me a promise, even that small action will count. What change
Yeah,
you would like to make?
I will surely reduce shopping
Nice.
of
Okay.
unnecessary things. Okay,
I would suggest one
the
thing that
things
if
which is
you,
not required. Okay, this is called trash shopping. Na? I
yeah,
will definitely try to lessen that.
I would also suggest you that even if you go down for shopping, you can carry your own jars and your own cloth bags. So
Yeah, that I already started. That I
yeah,
already started. But actually, very well said, Preet. It is we are doing unnecessary shoppings, and we are not aware about the loads on environment we are giving. So I
yes,
will definitely think on that, and with the things which are not required, I will definitely reduce to shop them.
sure,
Thank you.
yes. So yes, ma'am. This is
This is
what.
done.
Yes, I'm done with my presentation.
Okay. So I sincerely thanks Preet, and I am so happy to see such a young mind having such a vision. So where the idea came from? Like sustainability? Where, at
Actually,
what age? You are so
uh,
young right now. This is the,
I
at
want
this age.
to
Mhm.
I want to stay young forever. So down the before 2 years, I actually when I was doing my MBA from Nirma, I got a project on social entrepreneurship. So I had
Mhm.
to work on a product which helps the society and which is also good for doing business. So
Okay.
I made a project on it, and after on the second year, my mentor, who was my teacher, he motivated me to go ahead with this project in the practical world. So
Mhm.
he motivated me to execute this after doing MBA in the real life as well. So that
Okay.
is what kept me going. कि नहीं ऐसा कुछ कुछ अलग करेंगे, then we'll add some value to the society, and this is what is needed at this point of time in all our
Oh,
lives. So
seriously, seriously. I am so, so glad to see such a youngs like you, which are, they are doing with for plastic management. They are thinking of the, planet.
yes,
So if youngs like you are there, na, I'm sure the world is in safe hands. I'm sure.
thank you so much. Thank you so
And
much.
thank you so much, Preet. And I would like to have you offline as well as in our campus. I will
Definitely.
talk to the ma'am and we will have one-to-one interaction with the students because the idea I see, like plastic is converted into fabric, is
Yes,
definitely a very excellent idea.
yes,
So we'll have young minds and you can share your ideas with them and they will definitely take up to the next platform.
definitely, ma'am.
So we'd like to have you here also in the campus.
It will
We'll
be an
have a
honor
talk.
for me. Yes, definitely, ma'am. It will be an honor.
Same to us, same to us. So I sincerely appreciate the work what you are doing in the field of waste management and especially plastic management.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So thank you, Preet. Thank you so much for the time. And
Thank you,
that is
ma'am,
a
for giving me
wonderful
this
session.
opportunity. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. And there are so many students who are hearing you on FB.
Oh,
So
nice.
your ideas definitely will reach there. I will ask in the class when I'm going to take lectures to the students.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
And I will definitely give you the feedbacks regarding
Sure,
the
ma'am.
same.
Definitely.
So thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank
much,
you so
ma'am.
much.
It was
And
glad to have you.
bye.
Have all of them.
Thank you so much, Preet. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye bye. Should I close now? Sonal madam,
Yes, madam. Yes.
कर दो बंद.
Hello.
हाँ कर दूं ना बंद. हो गया वो तो चला गया.
Yes, sir.
मैं बंद कर रही हूँ म्यूट. ओके.
Sir. हाँ, हाँ.